Mama Bear here. I'm going to go over some stretches with you. Stretching is probably the most important part of any dance or physical art, so you want to start out with your stretches every time. The first stretches I usually do is my neck and then my arms, and you can stretch your arms and neck by going like this and just nodding your head in different directions. And when you do it, kind of just let your neck move and move it around, move it in a circle, stretch your arms, move them back and forth, take them and cross them over like this on each side. I usually do that for 10 seconds, like this, and then for your legs, you want to touch your toes. And if you can't touch your toes all the way, that's fine. Just let your arms hang there. And when you do it, make sure that you actually keep your bottom flex and kind of bend down like you're doing a hunch. And roll your back down so you can stretch every part of your spine. And then back up again, like this. And then back up again. And we have double jointed knees, so make sure you don't do that with your knee. Try not to do that when you're going down. Keep your leg like that, nice and straight, because you don't want to lock your knee like that, because it'll become a bad habit later and it'll be hard to do work. Then you can get on the ground and you can stretch out your hips. You put your 2 feet together like this, and then you just let your hips relax. And then you lean forward and you keep your heels together. And you lean forward like that. And then you can stretch your toes, and you want to just sit up nice and straight, and then flex your toes like that, and point your toes, and flex your toes, and point your toes. And when you do it, when you're flexing your toes, it should feel like you're the same thing you'd be doing if you were on the ground and you were using your heels and pushing with those muscles back here. And you want it to come from your ankle. You don't want it to come from your foot. You don't want to force it to do that. And then when you point your toe, the same thing should happen. You should feel it through your ankle, and it should be your ankle that's making your foot go back and forth. And with your toes, when you're trying to do your toes, don't curl them like this. Try to keep them like your hands, like this. Try to keep them nice and even, so that when you point your toe, you've got a nice solid basis where all your toes are aligned properly for you. And it's a nice straight line from your toe to your ankle to your knee to your hip. And then you can do one where you do this and you touch your toe on each side. Go like this so you can stretch your side. Go like this so you can stretch your side. Stretch in the middle. And then you can do standing stretches. And the standing stretches I like to do is to stretch your calf muscle. Put this part of your foot against a wall and your heel on the bottom. Keep your back leg straight and your toes pointed forwards. Try to stand up as straight as possible and lean into the wall. And you should feel it in your calf. And you do that on both sides. And another one you can do, and this is fun to help your balance, is to stand on one foot, keep your toes straight, about shoulder width apart, and then you slowly bring up this leg and hold it. Now when you do it, you want to make sure that your hips are as square as possible, and you try to tuck your bottom in and flex your bottom again and keep your shoulders as straight as possible. And you do it on both sides. And those are my stretches that I usually do before my dance and my Kung Fu warm-ups to try to stretch out my muscles. So long for now. Mwah.